Hello and welcome to Warframe. My name's Todd, also known as MajMech, and this is of course a Warframe. Last time we left off completing the new Strange and getting all the benefits of it. Oh, my voice just went really high right there. I think it just kind of cracked a little bit. So this time around, this episode specifically is going to be released the day before Christmas. So if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having a happy holiday season and are enjoying all the gifts that are given with it. Last week I did talk about the Tenobomb event that is going on. This week, or just sometime in the previous week, you would have probably gotten another mail from the Tenobomb event, which got you two more glyphs and another skin for a weapon that we currently just don't have, the Guandao, but the Guandao is pretty great. This weekend, the weekend before Christmas that is, when I'm recording this, it is a double credits weekend, and there's also a Gift of the Lotus for an Orokin reactor, so I hope you guys are enjoying your before Christmas weekend, if you are into that sort of thing. But regardless, everybody can enjoy the benefits, so that's pretty nice. So another update that happened, of course, was the Profit Taker update, 24.2. So 24.2 brought in the Profit Taker, effectively missions and bounties, and I will talk about those in just a moment, but I also wanted to talk about Mesa Prime. So we've finally gotten the Prime Shooty Girl. Mesa Prime is amazing. They showed her off in some of the dev streams previously with her weapons, the Akajar Prime, forgive me if I don't pronounce that correctly, and the Redeemer Prime. The Mesa Prime is definitely a Warframe that I've been anticipating and hoping for. With the Profit Taker update, though, we also got Baruch. So Baruch is a Warframe that is the newest Warframe to be added to the game. He's touted as the pacifist Warframe, focusing on support, I believe. You can see his abilities there and his stats there. With Baruch, you also have his signature weapon, the Cobra and Crane sword and shield. Pretty good overall. I think it has a special ability with Baruch, if I remember correctly, so do some research into that if you're interested in getting those two items. Of course, you got Kubra armor that came with it, a Sandana that came with it, and an alternate helmet for Baruch. We also got 3 new weapons that came with the Profit Taker update, aside from the Cobra and Crane. The Exorgist, which is a Corpus shotgun. I think this looks pretty cool overall. You've got a basic battery-powered pistol, the Plinks. I kind of like that name. It looks like a really, really good crit weapon, and I like crit weapons because I like seeing big numbers, so that might be something I'll be interested in testing out later on. Also got the Galvacord, which is a whip weapon. I'm not sure how effective this weapon will be. It looks to be pretty good stats-wise, but the attack speed is really bad, so that might really kind of cripple that weapon, I'm not sure. Also got a set of armor, or actually a Sandana here, which is very similar to the Corpus style that we've seen previously. I think it looks pretty cool. And 2 new helmets for Titania and Nidus. So that was most of the new content that was added in the Profit Taker update. So I'll talk a little bit about the Profit Taker update now. Effectively, if you are of old mate rank with the Fortuna, with Solaris United, so that would be the Fortuna reputation, then you can access a new set of bounties, which will allow you to take on the Profit Taker orbs after they are completed. Effectively, where I showed off that secret room with Little Duck and whatnot, I can potentially go show it again. Yeah, you know what, let's just go show it again. So effectively, you'd go to Fortuna, and you'll be able to find these bounties in a specific room. Let's head over to 69. Good old Fortuna 69 is a good old meme in the community right now. They've kept it alive since the launch of Fortuna, so we're going to try and help keep it alive as well. But we're also going to show off what's going on with the Profit Taker update. So we'll skip that because we've seen it before. Gonna probably get a little bit of lag because there's probably a lot of people here in 69. So of course, The Prophet Taker orbs were introduced to us in the Fortuna quest line. They're the large spider-like orbs that you've seen previously. If you go into this back room here with Little Duck is right here, and Yutiko here, you can now talk to Yutiko once you've reached Old Mate rank, and begin the Prophet Taker orb takedown bounties. In those bounties, you'll get access to something very cool. So if you are Old Mate rank and you're ready to do that, go ahead and jump in there. But I highly suggest getting a fully modded set of armor, weapons, and the like before you go into that, or that is Warframe weapons and the like before you go into do those, because they're very similar to some of the endgame content in the Plains of Eidolon, the Eidolons. So just be aware of that. We won't be touching that for some time. Probably until maybe we've reached the end of the star map, I'm not sure. It'll depend on how good our gear gets by that point. But for the time being, we do have things that we can be doing, so we're going to jump straight into the Limbo Theorem. And we can also pick up our items from the foundry. I entirely forgot about this. So last time we built a Vasto, and we also built the Orthos, so we'll pick both those up. Won't be using them right away because we want to keep leveling up the weapons we've currently got, and then we'll use them. So let's jump right into the Limbo Theorem. Check your inbox for a message and blueprint. Begin.
So this Limbo Theorem you picked up, it's supposed to lead to a new Warframe? Well, it's woefully incomplete. Half-written proofs? Unfinished equations?
What idiot wrote this mess?
Okay. There is one thing here. A constant. A tuning frequency. But it's so minute. The orbiter's antenna would never be able to... Unless... Go to your nav console. I have an idea.
So we did get an item with that. Let's just double check. Just a Limbo Theorem, Limbo Neuroptics Theorem blueprint. So we can head over, and we need to gather proof fragments. So we'll do that. Now these proof fragment gathering quests are Arcwing quests, so if you don't like Arcwing and you're not really ready for that, just be aware. I think you can complete it pretty much right out of the box, even with just a basic Arcwing. I don't remember ever having any problems with it, but we'll see how it goes. So it is interception missions in Arcwing mode. Yeah, you heard that right.
If there are
I'm gonna love this, I just know it.
fragments bouncing around this limbo frequency, these radio towers will pick them up.
Alright, so I believe I've explained all the controls for Arcwing, so I'm not really going to go over those again. You can, of course, look up other areas where you can find out more about them. The only major thing of note is that you can go faster by, of course, activating the sprint function and then pressing space to do an afterburner move. You can also quick slow down by tapping shift, the same way you would to dodge. That kind of just speeds you up momentarily and also has the ability to, I believe, dodge projectiles. But it's very finicky. Let's just melee this guy, if we're able to. These enemies are kind of high level, they're level 20, so they could probably defeat us pretty quickly. We might have to join a group to be able to actually do this mission eventually. Because we're not doing great right now. We need to head over to another tower. So this is one type of mission where you might want to think about leveling up your Arcwing beforehand. And with the new update, the Prophet Taker update, this is actually a double good idea. Some of the content in the Prophet Taker update does revolve around your Arcwing weapons specifically.
Now in control of this town.
Let us go gather that last tower. So the purpose of this mission is not to succeed in the interception, it is actually to kill the enemies and gather the Prophet Taker, or the, not the Prophet Taker, but the Limbo Theorem proof fragments from enemies. So, just be aware of that. If you're not gathering the proof fragments from the enemies, you are not completing this mission very quickly. And you'll probably have to repeat it a couple of times. Which I'm going to try and avoid, so I'm going to try and kill as many enemies as possible before we have any issues. So I am activating, of course, my first and second ability there. First ability creates like a shield in front of you, which I believe blocks projectiles the same way Volts does. shielded enemies are a real pain, aren't they?
You're losing control.
I forgot how annoying those enemies are. Those shielded daggers. Okay, so we got one fragment right there. You can see it at like the bottom of the screen where you get loot indicators. I don't think the interception part of this mission is actually all that difficult. From the looks of it, I don't remember it being anyway. The major thing being, of course, is that in your Arcwing, if you don't have it leveled up at all, it might be a little bit difficult to stay alive. But we're not really afraid of going down if we have to. We're just worried about completing the mission.
We have established complete control.
So I think it is it my second ability that's very good against these shield guys? I forget. Regardless, just getting behind the shield Dagrins is probably one of the most effective things you can do. So you can melee towards them, which kind of teleports you towards an enemy, and then you can effectively shoot them in the back, which becomes far more effective. Oh, and we healed over there, but that's okay. We are fighting an extremist, which is kind of expected. You kind of always want to have your shield up, if possible, on the basic Arcwing, the Ondata. So making sure to use all your energy to keep that up as long as you can, because it intercepts enemy fire. It also does, I think it boosts your damage, same way Volt's shield does. Not positive on that though. Have to do a little bit more testing or look up the wiki to make sure. Regardless, it's good to have up because preventing any explosives from coming towards you is always nice. Let's just dodge out of the way of those. We've got a lot of enemies around us right now, so we're going to kind of try and avoid having them
Now we must clean up.
Kill them all.
kill us here. I think this only goes one round, if I remember correctly. I'm not positive on that. If it does go more than one round, we should get enough proof fragments. I don't know if we've gotten enough to begin with, though. I think we only got like a couple. If we do have to do this again, or multiple times, we'll probably join groups, so we can show that off. It's much easier to do these missions with a group. Especially because these frickin' shield daggers are such a nightmare. So my second ability there should be like missiles, which destroy the shield daggers through their shields, but it's not really all that effective. I don't know if they've nerfed it. Not positive on that one. Regardless, they're still just a monumentous nightmare to deal with. So meleeing close, and then shooting them, or just melee, continuing to melee them is still my preferred method of attack. So we need to kill one straggler down here. See if he's got any proof fragments. He does not, and then the rest of the enemies up here. Are they
They're
stuck
onto
behind
us
this
now,
rock or something?
but if you would like, we can attempt another scan.
Okay, so I just kind of completed the mission, even though we didn't kill all the enemies, just because we were near the end. I'm going to extract right away, just to see if we've got enough proof fragments.
Not only have we
So we got 2
decoded the
proof
enemy
fragments.
transmissions,
I don't
we
remember
have
exactly
also
how many we need.
disrupted their communications.
Of course, it is better to join a group for this mission, just because of the fact that with more people you'll get more kills and more loot that way. So
These equations will
We'll gather
continue to
straight
be a
to
jumble of nothing until we
Gravitate
recover
straight.
all the missing proof fragments and reforge this theorem.
well, as I was saying, we'll gravitate more towards that because of that. So where is it? Miscellaneous? Nope. I thought we made like the blueprint itself. I feel like that's what we did. Yes, so we needed 3. That's a shame. Well, we'll have to do it one more time. This time we'll jump out of solo and we'll go into public. So hopefully we can get some assistance in creating this theorem and hopefully not have so many problems. Plus interception is just nicer when having more people. Unless we by chance don't get anyone to join our team, and then we'll just have to do it ourselves again. Skip that
If there are
cinematic.
any proof fragments bouncing around this Limbo frequency, these radio towers will pick them up.
Overall, this mission is kind of tedious just because of the Arcwing bits and the fact that you have to rely on getting the drops for the proof fragments. It's kind of annoying. Would not recommend this kind of quest design in the future if anybody from DE would be listening to this. just because it's very tedious and not very easy to farm, and it also just all around makes things kind of clunky. The Arcwing part isn't the bad part, it's the fact that you can't complete it quickly.
The tower has been captured.
Really?
Scanning
You're
the Limbo
really kind of just
frequency
waiting
now.
for time limits at this point. Alright, so we're here. We have some enemies spawning, but I don't think they're going to be a massive problem. They were in the previous part. We did die once, or get knocked down once, but I don't think that will be a massive problem to us. So one thing to note when using the Ondata is I have sprint toggle.
They took control of our tower.
So if you activate sprint, you kind of go into this flying forward Superman kind of pose, and your shield stays in front of you at all times. You have to kind of go out of that by toggling sprint off if you want your shield to actually be massively effective. So if you've never used the Ondata before, that is something to note. Lancer was just wrecking us. Dagger is kind of doing some damage. They are actually taking these towers now, so I'm going to have to work a little bit harder to keep them. But I don't think that'll be a massive problem. We'll see though. You do kind of get towers in Arcwing interceptions much quicker,
The tower has been captured. Scanning the Limbo frequency now.
so it's much easier to succeed in this type of interception, I think. I don't know, it's possible the update also changed that, I don't know. There have been a lot of updates to this quest, because when it originally started it was just monumentously annoying, far more than it is now, which is saying something. So we do have the Limbo proof fragments that we need, but as you might have noticed, it was just the neuroptics that we're working on right now. Oh, ouch. So we will need more proof fragments in the future, which is kind of annoying, but that's just how it goes, so we'll probably be repeating this quest in the future. I think I got knocked down there because of bumping damage. In Arcwing, there's this funny mechanic where if you hit something with your actual Arcwing, or your person, so it's your Warframe, you take damage. Now, typically that damage is not massively significant, but if you do it repeatedly, it can kind of damage you fairly quickly if you're not paying attention. Is that? Oh, that's what my second ability is. I forget. My second ability is not.
No! They captured our tower.
My second ability is not missiles. My second ability is disarray, which prevents missile locks. That's right. My third ability is the missiles. It's been a while since I've worried about Arcwing, so you have to forgive me for not being 100% on top of how everything works. Let's go get our tower back. We're pretty much already done with this to begin with, though, which is kind of nice. Pop up our shield. Knock these guys down. That bump damage, though, the one thing I will state about it is it's quite annoying when you're trying to melee things in Arcwing mode, as of course you are kind of trying to touch them, so it can become a problem. It can do a good amount of damage to you if you're not paying good enough attention. Oh, we have very little life. I think we're going to go down again. Doing a little bit worse than we were last time. It's to be expected. You can't have every single mission go as good as you hope. This final tower, and we should be good to go.
Operator, I'm pleased to report that we are in full control.
Okay, so we're at
Scan
99,
complete.
and
Now
we're
we
clear.
must clean up.
Kill them all.
They're onto us now, but if you would like, we can attempt another scan.
Let's try and... Oh, nope, we're just gonna get out of here. So, as I stated, we will probably need more proof fragments in the future, but we did get a good amount this time around. So we probably have enough for at least the next one, maybe? Because it takes about 3, I think, for each one. Alright. So now we can craft the Limbo Theorem neuroptics. And those are under Warframe. There we are. Craft those.
Now we get to find out what all this Limbo nonsense is about. I await the Theorem's completion.
Okay, so we'll have to wait a quick minute for it to complete. Don't think there's anything else I can really talk about that's changed since since last time, that is. Yeah, pretty much everything's been the same. I haven't really needed to farm anything. I haven't changed anything. I've been kind of busy, so I haven't been able to really do any extra missions, so I haven't completed Mars or anything. In the future, I'll try to get around to doing more of that as my time schedule will allow, but I am doing this sort of thing for fun, so it does kind of come down to what I'm able to do when I'm able to do it. Let's see, how close are we? 11 seconds? 10 seconds? 9 seconds? Okay. Is there anything else we can talk about? Don't think so. And we're good to go.
Okay, good. Wait. The horizon mass cannot be inverted to...
This is preposterous.
Operator, I'm sorry. You did all this work, and this so-called theorem is still completely invalid. It's as if all these proofs point to nothingness. It's just...
Utterly irrational.
There's only one valid coordinate in the entire proof. I've marked it on your navigation console, but I'm sure it's a waste of time.
Well, nothing like a good old waste of time for us gamers. So let's go straight into it. So this will be the second part of the Limbo Theorem kind of quests. They kind of repeat this way until you have all of the pieces. You'll need the proofs, then you'll get the theorem parts, then you'll go do a mission to gather up the blueprint, and that is where we are. So let's skip that, don't need to see any of that. Alright, so...
We're here in search of lost artifacts and items buried deep below the surface. The scanner has picked up a target. Go to the dig site.
There's a
Unsurprisingly,
sanctuary target here, Hunter. I sense
it's an
Track
excavation.
it with the synthesis scanner.
Another type of mission
Don't let
type
it
I don't
escape.
like, which is possibly why I don't really remember this mission super well, because criminies, I really don't like these mission types. Probably rushed through these as quickly as I was able to. Excavation and interception are most certainly not my favorites. Interception, while in Arcwing mode, is definitely not the
Excavator
funnest
is
of
ready to
times.
go. Keep it powered and protected from enemy fire.
Alright, but I think we should be able to deal with this excavation a little bit easier than we have with the previous ones. At least I'm hoping that is. We only need to get 300 total cryotics completed. It does not matter whether or not the excavator survives, so there's no worry there as long as we gather up the cryotic we need, so we can kind of brute force this if we have to. Though I'd like to avoid that if possible.
The excavator has run out of power. Find a cell.
That's a shame. Grenier are kind of one of the worst enemies we can deal
Protect
with
the
here.
remaining dig sites.
Plus, our Rhino Warframe, while he's very good, he's not really meant for defensive style missions.
We're here in search
So-
of lost artifacts and items buried deep below the
We'll have
surface.
to jump
The scanner
through.
has picked up a target. Go
Go
to
to
the
the
dig
next
site.
excavator. Hopefully we'll be able to find something actually worthwhile in the next excavator. Some of these excavation missions do have very good rewards, so even though I'm not a big fan of them and they tend to be a little bit difficult without a group of any sort, or without the right kind of setup, it is worthwhile doing them if you've never done them before. Plus cryotic is
Excavator
extremely
deployed. Protect
important
the
in
unit
later
while it
parts of the
extracts
game.
the artifact.
There are a lot of items that use cryotic. I think one specific example I can think of that uses cryotic would be pyrotic alloy that you can get from the Plains of Ilon, which is used in pretty much every single Zaw. So, if you ever wanted to craft any Zaw pretty much at all, you're probably going to need some cryotic at
The
some point.
scanner has picked up a target. Go to the dig site.
Man, these Lancers just completely destroy our excavators here. Just wrecking them. Not really able to do a lot about that either. Thanks to the fact that they're all kind of ranged enemies. Just trying to plink away at them. Come on. Alright.
The excavator has lost power.
Well,
Find another cell.
at least that one lived a little bit longer than the previous one.
Excavator destroyed. Protect the remaining dig sites.
It's really good that we don't have to worry about these excavators living, because currently I don't think any of them are. We just do not have the right kind of setup for this. These enemies are really a nightmare. I'm not sure why some of these grenadiers are taking so many shots. Our heck should be doing a decent amount of damage to take it down. That's how it goes. Sometimes you just realize your weapons are woefully suited for what you're doing, and then you just have to kind of upgrade and improve, as we've seen previously. Change up tactics.
Excavator deployed.
I'm sure a lot of players who have gotten to the point where we are at this moment have probably spent a lot more time doing basic missions and farming up resources, so their weapons are probably a lot better than what we've got, or what I'm dealing with in particular. Man, this heck is unsurprisingly bad. Just don't have enough mods on it to make it all that good. Maybe we should have switched over to the Boltor. I'm not saying it would have given us the biggest hand up, but it might have given us a better chance than this heck is. Ah, crap, I just swallowed a little bit of spit down my windpipe. That was bad. Oh, heavy gunners. Heavy gunners are not okay again. Heavy gunners are not what I want to see. Oh, come on.
Protect the remaining dig sites.
Alright, fine. At a certain point, we're really just going to have to rush through this. I want to say that this is mostly because of our loadouts, but truthfully, I remember doing this previously and having just as many problems with it.
Keep it powered and protected from enemy fire.
I'm starting to think that maybe this mission just isn't tuned very good, or maybe the enemies here are kind of a little bit harder than they should be, though I'm not positive on that. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, so with that guy, our excavator's still probably going to die. That's just to be expected for the most part. Ironically, I think they're just trying to show you what the Warframe that you can get from this whole event is good at. Of course, Limbo. Limbo is a fantastic Warframe for defense missions. Not specifically the defense missions, but defense-like missions, such as mobile defense, excavation, things of that nature, because you can defend areas extremely well. Only problem with Limbo, of course, is that Corpus completely make him useless for the most part, which is about 1/3 of most enemies in the game.
An artifact has been located.
So that's very annoying. Specifically, the nullifiers pretty much destroy any sort of construct your Warframe can put down. And Limbo specifically creates an area that is very effective, so his kind of ability gets destroyed by nullifiers, and that's just kind of a shame. It would be kind of interesting if he had like some sort of resistance to nullifiers, which would make him probably a lot more effective overall. But he really doesn't, so that's just how it goes. I think this is like the farthest we've gotten on one of our excavators, but I'm not positive on that yet. I'm gonna avoid any random gunshots from the side. Just gotta get about 100 more Craddock and then we'll be done. A little bit over, of course, which means that even if we do complete this excavator completely, we'll still need one more excavator. Can't be lucky every time, can we? Alright, it's dealt with. Noxus, good. I also remember that later on they'll probably start sending bombards at us like crazy, so the Nox is just the beginning of our troubles here in this horrid mission. Let's switch up our weapons. I don't know if our pistol's any better to be honest. This guy seems like it's a little bit better. Let's try our melee weapon, Galantine. Galantine's a little bit worse, but it still dealt with him. Get out of here, buddy. Okay, so we need some power. Where are the enemies? Okay. Ah, there's one. Gotta find a power carrier though. Where are you going? There's no running. I'm not playing Ring Around the Rosie with you guys. Should I just let this butcher kill this thing? 'Cause I'm not seeing any power carriers. The enemies are spawning really slowly here, and I'm not sure why. This is massively unfortunate. Not sure what to do about this. I'm gonna leave any enemies alive that are not power carriers at this time because I just need to move on, really. I'm just gonna go to the next excavator. I'm not sure what's caused the enemies to stop spawning. It could be just a basic glitch, I'm not really positive. But we can kind of move on and let them kill that one and just move on to the next one, I guess. It's kind of a shame, we were doing kind of good on that one too. Hopefully now this will kind of create a little bit more enemies to spawn effectively. I believe that the excavators, like the more excavators you have, the more enemies will spawn, but I'm not positive on that.
We need another power cell for the excavator.
Where are all the power carriers?
Protect the unit while it extracts the artifact.
It's so weird that there are no power carriers around, but there's normal enemies. A lot of these quest missions do kind of get buggy sometimes. They've been fixed multiple times in the past, but it seems every time one thing is fixed, one thing is broken, so that's just kind of how it goes. I guess we'll just wait for the other excavator to be destroyed. I didn't really want it to go like this, but sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. There's a power carrier.
An artifact has been located. Proceed to the dig site.
I was like, I'm not insane because I could have swore I saw that this excavator is getting destroyed, but there were no enemies here when I got here, so that was kind of weird. But we'll just let him destroy that, not really care, because this excavator will hopefully give us what we need regardless of whether or not he blows it up. The troopers are probably the most effective at destroying these because of how much damage they do up close. I think what happened here is that we left a lot of enemies behind and that's preventing enemies from spawning. But I'm not positive on that. And, typically the enemies are actually kind of quick about getting towards you when it comes to these excavation missions, so it's kind of surprising regardless. We'll just stand behind the excavator or on top of it, let them blow it up. Come on guys. Come on, there we go.
Excavator destroyed. Protect the remaining dig sites.
So that's effectively how that goes. Would really have liked to have not like kind of cheated it out that way. Would have preferred to have done it a little bit more traditionally and actually been able to complete those digs. If you can complete those digs, of course, you get 100 gradic each time. And, you know, you only have to do 3 of them, but that's just how it goes. Especially when we don't really have a Warframe suited for this sort of mission. So let's just head out. This will kind of conclude the first part of this mission. I believe there will be 2 more sets like this before we can get the completed Limbo blueprint and all of his parts. So expect more of this. But hopefully in the future we'll be able to do a little bit better about cleaning up the enemies.
A Limbo part blueprint. The theorem wasn't complete malarkey after all. Perhaps there's more to these equations than I previously thought.
What am I missing?
So, now the next part should begin shortly, if I remember correctly. So, as our active mission, I believe Ordis over time will give us some more information about that, and that'll kind of spark the next part of the Limbo Theorem. But in the meantime, I'm going to call that an episode for the time being. In between parts, I'll complete that Gift of the Lotus, get the extra Orkan reactor. Yeah, and that'll kind of be all I kind of do for the moment. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season, no matter what holidays you might celebrate. And I hope you're enjoying all the wonderful updates that Warframe has been giving us as of late. And here's to many more in the new year.